Of course, there are a few different kinds of interpretations and many different ideas that are connected to those notions other than just the popular ones, shall we say.
Would you like to explain on that?
Well, there are a few different things we can share. One thing we have already told many of you is that the threshold that you call 2012 is simply the leading edge of the collective consciousness crossing critical mass threshold. The idea being that on the other side of that particular moment in time, there will be more positive momentum on the planet than negative.
Yes.
You follow me? And so, the way in which you experience this transition, again, is really up to you. Please remember, there are an infinite number of parallel realities all going on simultaneously. It's not in a sense that you actually change the world you are in. It's that you change your frequency to be like that of the world you prefer to experience, and then experience that parallel Earth that already exists on that level. It may look as if everything around you has changed, but in fact, it's you that have changed, and in a sense have shifted yourself to a world in which there already exist the versions of the other people that are germane to that world, that are on the same frequency of that world. Those that are not on that frequency will no longer appear in your reality. They will simply vanish from your life one way or another. As time goes on, even though right now you are still in a collective agreement that allows you to experience many people who have belief systems that are very different from your own, maybe even very incompatible with the frequency that you prefer, in time, this will no longer be possible. The idea will be that those people will simply phase out of your reality. They will remain in the reality in which their frequency is appropriate. And you will have vanished from their reality. Oh, I wonder whatever happened to so-and-so. They're on another Earth, having their own experience based on the frequency they most believed would occur. So when you go through these transitions, when you look at the idea of change on your planet, remember, many of the things that are prophesied are statements that were made at the time of the energy that existed at the time the prophecy was made. Because there really is no such thing as a prediction of the future. A prediction is a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made. If that changes, the prediction is obsolete. If it doesn't, it comes true, as you say. But it's up to you. Many times, hearing the prediction is what causes it to change. Because now you can do something about it. The person making the prediction is saying, look, this is where our energy is. Do we want it to stay here, or do we want to change it? Do we want to experience the transition this way or this way? Up to you. Let's get it all out on the table. This is what we perceive. Now you decide how you want to experience this transformation. What kind of relationship do you want to have with each other and with your world and with the spirits and with all that is? How do you want to experience this reality? Who do you want to be? And that's what determines what you will experience. And you can even, for a time, be standing right next to someone who chooses to experience the transformation in a very destructive, scary, fearful way, and you can be standing right next to them and not experience anything that they're experiencing at all. At all. You follow me?
Yes.
Does this help illuminate some of what you are discussing?
Yes.
Another analogy we have used with regard to the idea of the darkness, the experience of the darkness you have created on your planet, to give it a positive spin, is what we have called the rubber band analogy. And the way we explain that is just as you have on your planet the idea of a rubber band, and you know that if you take a rubber band and pull it back and let it go, it shoots off in another direction, the opposite direction. The idea of the degree to which you have chosen to experience limitation and darkness on your planet is actually a beautiful thing, because the degree to which you experience the darkness is the degree to which you will also experience the light. the rubber band analogy is that the farther back you pull the rubber band into the darkness, when you finally decide to let go, that's how much farther and faster it will shoot on the other side. Because you're giving it all that momentum, all that energy, by pulling it so far back into the darkness. So when you do reach critical mass, and you do cross the threshold, and you do finally let go after straining for so long to hold it back here in the darkness, it will shoot very quickly onto the other side and go that much further into the light.
Your world is preparing to experience a level of unconditional love in the near future, unprecedented on your planet. Even in ancient times, with other civilizations that were far more connected, far more in remembrance of their connection to spirit, never before on earth have you gone through the darkness to the light in this way, and the remembrance shall be profound by having taken that path. And the love, once regenerated, shall never be lost again. And in 1,000 of your years, you will no longer incarnate at all as humans on your world, but will, as we said, leave it for others to use, for their own journeys, their own experiences, their own discoveries of self, but you will guide them, you will aid them, you will be their spirits, you will be their entities. You will be the ones to whom they turn for guidance. Ride the leading edge, the crest of the wave, the transformation of your collective consciousness. Ride the wave of yourself into the future you prefer. By being in the now. As you approach the threshold crossing of your year of 2012, when you tip the scale from going from a slightly overwhelmingly negative collective energy to a slightly overwhelmingly positive collective energy, you can work toward, build toward that moment, that crossing, by aligning with yourselves more fully, so that when the tipping of the scales occurs, and for the first time in a long time, the collective energy of your world is finally slightly positive, you can then ride with that accelerating, snowballing energy that will continue to accelerate forward and expand forward from that point forward in time. Let go of the idea that things have to be done a certain way. Let go of the old idea of who you think you need to be. Let go of the old ideas of beliefs that do not work for you. Let go of the things that are not yours. You do not need to carry them around. Let go, let go, let go.